Hello everybody! Today on this episode of whatever we're doing, we're playing Muradin. And we're playing Muradin differently. So, get ready, strap yourselves in for some windback and some Heroes in the Storm and some weird-ass tanking. Muradin has not changed whatsoever recently, so what you may notice is that he's seeing a lot of more play for his Haymaker Bronzebeard Rage build. And the other thing that I find more fascinating about him at the moment, that's great, is that Sledgehammer is going to be providing a hell of a lot of utility for him in both the sieging role and the camp taking role. So, being that Muradin is a dive tank, we're going to be playing him a little bit more, I don't want to say passively, because we're definitely not passive in playing dive with this character, but we are, in fact, going to be a little bit more careful about our engages, and it is going to be a little bit more cautious gameplay, for sure. Now, Muradin himself, obviously being a tank, he's got the health bar to make mistakes, but he's also going to be on the squishier side without Avatar, and I'm going to get my jump interrupted and absolutely fucking destroyed, which is yet another really tragic downfall of his kit. He used to be unstoppable, I think it was. Maybe it was just completely invincible on his leap. I'm not sure. But that was way, way, way far back. Tech Alpha and Beta. Maybe it was just Alpha. Maybe he did not. Now he just gets armor on his jump. But I think... yeah, I'm not super sure how it used to be. I have never been a main Muradin player, so I just felt that... felt that this specific type of playstyle that we're going to be trying out is probably the best way to give him some life in the current meta. What with the towers doing all the focusing of, dive tanks and anybody doing damage underneath them, I mean, it's just like, okay, how do we work around that? And we're going to do that by, number one, finishing our quest, and number two, taking Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer, what it's going to do, on top of helping us complete our quest faster, it is actually going to give us an additional stack of our baseline quest. It's going to do 300% damage to non-heroic targets. 350%. It's just going to be doing stupid amounts of damage to non-heroic targets. Try to slow her down a little bit. Can't do it. Wasn't able to get behind her for the body block, so she's just going to get away. I didn't want to go anywhere near that tower range. Are we going to get Uka instead? Nailed it. Perfect. Our team comp is a little bit broken at the moment. We do have Imperius and Tracer on our team. I think Tassadar is certainly on the upswing as well, but that doesn't matter because that's the type of team comp you should be shooting for anyway, right? You want to be playing with the best stuff. So, what you're going to notice while we're taking this camp, we don't have our quest completed just yet, but 575 damage per Q is absolutely fucking insane. For a tank, especially. Now, you may be wondering, why are you doing camps? Why aren't you tanking? Because... fuck it, why not? Garden of Terror is such a huge map that camps are incredibly important. Now, having a tank that can roam between lanes and try to get picks and stuff is also important, but with the hugeness of this map, rotations between are a little bit harder to catch, especially giving the enemy team a lot more time to react to those picks. Having a little bit of trouble figuring out which way to go here because the team is pretty split. Maul is still in the bottom lane, though, dealing with that camp that we helped pick up just a second ago. So, it's a little bit okay. Varian eating a lot of damage Oh my god, Varian's building correctly. That's amazing. But it's no match. It's no match for the amount of damage that we can just put out. At level 7, we did pick up Give 'em the Axe, so our auto attacks are going to be doing a stupid amount of damage to crowd-controlled enemies, and we have plenty of crowd control on our own. So, we're about 6 stacks shy of completing our baseline quest, which is going to let us basically get battle momentum for our Q, and from there, we're going to be able to take camps lightning fucking fast. Just stupid, super stupid fast. Not to mention, you know, being able to throw more Qs in team fights, storm bolts, however you want to know them. And it's just going to do lots of stuff for us. Level 10 is coming up, and we are going to take the Playmaker just because that's the type of team comp that we have. We're a very kind of hit and run, do what we can when we can do it kind of play style. We're more about macro pressure, making sure the enemy team has to come at us with weird numbers, and as long as their Vala isn't around, or as long as their Uther is wasting cooldowns to poke damage, we don't have a whole lot to worry about. So, we've got another set of camps out, pushing middle here. Vala looking pretty tasty. Okay, yeah, I figured you were going to dodge at some point, and you just didn't, so we'll take it. Muradin, with his huge health bar, is obviously very, very good at tanking a couple tower shots, even with the armor reduction. It's pretty cozy. Now, in case you weren't aware, I'm sure I've spouted it off plenty already, but Stormbolt is our Q. It's going to be a stun. We throw it out in a line. 1.25 second stun. And then once we hit 25 stacks, we are going to reduce the cooldown of our Q with our auto attacks, be able to fling them more often. Stacks come one at a time unless you kill a person within a specific window with your Q, and then you get 5 stacks at a time. I think it's 5 stacks, right? 3 stacks. Which is, I mean, that's believable, right? Especially in competitive play, if you hit a Q and everybody goes on, and you get 5 stacks immediately after that, you only have to do it 5 times. So. Whatever. Let's get the Haymaker off on the Diablo, knock him into the backline. He's already used every amount of escape that he has. Our Tassadar having some trouble in the backline, but he is going down as well. The Archon putting a lot of damage and armor reduction onto the Varian. He can't live through all of that by himself. Team does have to follow up on Varian to make anything happen. He can do a lot of damage on his own, but he can't secure kills. He's a tank. That's just how it works. Take another free stack. We do stack infinitely with our level 1 quest, Perfect Storm. So we're going to get 5 damage on our Q every time that we hit one. Oh my god, I'm stunned to the tower, and I'm dead. Ancestral healing just a teeny bit too late, and I get chain stunned by the Uther under tower range. And that's what I get for being overly aggressive. So we can't do that with this build. I don't really think you could do that much with Muradin, period, anymore, because he's just not what he once was. But, could be worse. Now we've got our team putting out Merc pressure yet again. We have, let's see, plenty of camps on our side of the map. We could even go over to the enemy's side of the map for their Siege Giants, because we are 13 to 11 right now. Talent tier up. Back to the abilities themselves, though. Thunderclap is our W. We're going to hit this in a big AoE, slow people by 25% for 2.5 seconds. It's going to help us trigger our Give 'em the Axe at 7, just for doing lots and lots of auto attack damage, too. Did you see that? 800 damage on that Q. 800. And I did it to both of them in a line. Did our quest. Big arrow stunning 4 people. I hope no one dies. I've got the Q. Imperious re-engaging. We're going to eat the Rain of Vengeance, and we're going to chase down that backline. Knock Uther forward into our team. Miss our Q entirely, but take him out anyway. His team left him to fend for himself, and now we can get a Merc camp. 700. Oh, there must not have been 800 on here. Still, 700 on 2 Mercs in a camp is nuts. It was 800 that time. I wonder why. Wonder why that changed. Oh, because the wizard
ready for
minion
gathering.
had spell armor
now.
on the camp. That makes sense. So look at the top of the map here. We got giants, knights, minions, catapults, and we've got 2 people down here dealing with catapults in the night camp. These 2 have absolutely no business trying to clear anything, so we just get a free objective out of that. It's ridiculous. But also, here we are on our E, which is Dwarf Toss. This is going to be our big jump. We mentioned it before, but it's basically Muradin's main form of engage and escape, so you have to be kind of mindful of what you are doing with it. Look at that. That was a couple auto attacks and 2 Qs. It's fucking insane how fast you can take camps with this. I had a little bit of help, but I'm pretty sure I didn't need it. I'm pretty sure I've just absolutely got this all by my lonesome. Let's be real. One more.
Soon you will have another
Just
seed
2
to
Qs,
gather
couple
here.
autos. It's fucking phenomenal. So this specific build gives Muradin the kind of macro and map pressure that you need for maps like Garden of Terror, BOE. I think even Dragonshire has a lot of good opportunities for this to work. It's just so good. Oh, Dragon's Arrow interrupting the Furious stun, but I think we are going to get the variant anyway. That Lightning Breath really doesn't mean a shit to us. And Diablo is just setting himself up for attack. Big playmaker, Pulse Bomb taking him out all the way back on the wrong side of the map. We are 16 to 14 at the moment, and there's just nothing that the enemy team can really do. Now, being that we're kind of this guerrilla style of Muradin, Dwarf Launch is very important at 16. I know both of these talents are very good, depending on what you're playing into. Stone Form's a huge heal, and if you're building Avatar, I think Stone Form's probably the way to go. The Dwarf Launch specifically is going to make it extremely easy for you to get in range for things like your Haymaker. 967 damage to that building with one Storm Ball. Like,
Your enemies fall before you.
actually, let's check out our siege damage here. It could be better. Then again, we don't actually clear waves with Muradin. We have to find big singular targets. So buildings are going to be points of interest. Merc camps, obviously, real good. Bosses, specifically, are going to eat so much damage from their Storm Bolts. It's going to be fucking nutty. I've only got 14 stacks on my Perfect Storm at the moment. And, like, you can see just there, it was so fast on that camp. We had so much time to react to everything, it just knocking it out immediately. Now, if that were a boss on Cursed Hollow, we'd probably have to use 3 or 4 of them. But I could probably go into try mode and figure it out for sure. But I just think I cannot say enough about Sledgehammer, and I don't know why it's not picked more often to play this kind of macro hit and run style of Muradin. Just gonna knock that down real quick. Probably take a free stack on the Diablo. Yep, nice and easy. 15. He's standing super still. Playing a little bit opportunist, but that's kind of where we're at. Ooh! Muradin stunned under the boss. Furious, knocking Diablo back into our team. Can we get him? Just barely getting away. Just Varian wanting to go in. I don't know. Maybe trying to trade his life with the kill that we almost got in Diablo. It's 16 to 18 right now, so the talent tier is even. But Vala is just now rotating up to us, and it looks like the enemy team still has Varian dealing with our last terror. So we got the keep. There's not really much for us to do here beyond that, now that the enemy can start regrouping to push back on us. So let's take the camp! 862. That is with the spell armor from the Wizard Merc. And we get another one. 1078. Stupid. So it's this specific type of Muradin play that really, I think, adds a level of nuance to the character that he just didn't have before. even if you're playing, ouch, even if you're playing with the mindset that you want to go Haymaker, like, you still have to, a lot of people are still in this rut that you have to, oh, you have to jump in, and you have to Haymaker somebody, or you have to use Haymaker in XYZ way, or you're not playing your character efficiently. This specific playstyle gives Muradin another avenue to really create some pressure for his team, not only in diving carries, but in playing the map. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to take this from you real quick here. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Dwarf launching out onto the caltrop, slowing us down a little bit, but I'm not super worried about that. Got the Ancestral Heal that time, healing up about 40% of our health bar, and if I didn't mention it, which I'm sure I didn't, Muradin's trait is the Second Wind, and if we are out of combat for a specific amount of time, we'll start to super regen. I missed that completely. Fuck you, Central. We'll start to regen a lot of health back really fast. Ouch. There you see it right above our head with the little cross, little green health. You're not gonna do it. Oh, so close. Only that wall had been a little bit further up, we would have gotten that kill. Probably could have killed him with Haymaker, honestly. We did end up taking the double Haymaker at level 20 because I'm very confident in getting the resets on this ability. And we have camp pressure going on the core right now, knocking it down. It's like Hanzo has gone back to deal with it. It's just me and Tassadar versus Varian and Uther. So you tell me how you think this is going to go. 8% of a health bar with every Q. Knock that punk bitch out of there. Varian goes down because the peels is unreals. Let me tell you what. Another 8%. Diablo getting lots of heals from the Uther and armor, but all I really have to do is stop him from attacking my Tassadar. It's amazing. And I'm healing myself with the Bronzebeard Rage this whole time as well, so. Ooh, spooky. Spooky. But our Tassadar knows to stand behind the front line, so it's nice and alive. We only have 24 stacks, too, on our Perfect Storm, so we're only sitting at about, what would that be, 120 extra damage. It's, I mean, it's not the best record for the level 1 talent, but at the same time, that's contributing to Merc camps 120 times 350%, which is 120 times 3.5. Oh, math is so hard. That's about, I'm going to say that's about 400 damage.
It will sprout
right?
before you know it.
No, that's 360 damage. Yeah. 360 and then the 50%. So it's right around 400. God, math is hard. But because of that, we're able to take camps like the Siege camp. So Siege Giants on any map. The Fire Bats on Braxis and Warhead are going to be super easy to take as well. The 4-stack camps are a little bit tougher because there's just more targets to hit. But bosses especially get a lot easier if you have a lot of race. I don't need to be over here just now, but at the same time, let's just knock Diablo out of the fight and then leap in, eat that Divine Storm hard to the face, take another free stack off of Diablo while he's standing still. It's really having a hard time focusing people. Looks like we're going to get him. Am I going to get that stack back? I am not. Didn't die in the right window. Boom! We could have taken Rewind to 20 to have more power on our Q. So, like, a hyper stun combo. But we didn't build the Thunder Strike, I think it is? Yeah, Thunder Strike. You need this specifically to one-shot people with Muradin with that build. So, I like taking the Haymaker reset just because having 2 charges of that bitch makes it easier to peel, makes it easier to engage. It's really fun stuff. This build specifically, I think, is very, very good for Garden of Terror, for Dragonshire, BOE, probably Warhead, probably not Braxis, probably not Tomb either. I don't think... Cursed Hollow would probably be okay. So basically bigger maps, and then maps that have really heavy emphasis on merc camps. So it's pretty easy to figure out where you need to pick this, and where it's going to be most useful, and how best to use it. But that was where we're at. 38,000. Oh god, we're sitting on the low side. Varian doing more damage than us. Died 8 times though. Oh my god. Throwing your body at the enemy team is not a very good look. You're welcome. You almost died. I gave you that 0 deaths because I peel like a madman. 27 stacks at the end of the game. Could have been better. Sledgehammer at 4. Give him the axe at 7. Haymaker at 10. Bronzebeard Rage at 13. Dwarf Launch at 16. And Grand Slam at 20. Now that's the build. I hope this was a bit informative. Hope this gives you kind of an idea of how to play something new and interesting with a very, very old character. Hopefully, Muradin sees a little bit more play soon, because I do think this is a very, very strong way to play him that just hasn't really been fleshed out by a lot of bigger players, you know? So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, whatever you want to do with that YouTube buttons that you got. I will see you all